Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Titan Chain Snow Cable tire chains here today on our 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. Now guys, this can be a very nice way of giving yourself just a decent little chain to give you a little bit of traction. So these steel rollers, obviously not going to be an aggressive option by any means. Actually going to be below most of your standard square or D-link chainages that you can actually find out there. So one thing I will say with it, makes it really easy to throw on here. However, again, not really situated to heavy duty ice and snow. Now it's going to do a great job, of course, of giving that little bit of traction and of course get you up to code for needing chains inside your car. So this becomes a great option for something like, man, I'm probably not going to use it too much, but it's nice to have inside your vehicle. That way you do have some kind of traction control device to throw on your vehicle. Now what's nice about this too, probably wouldn't be too hard to throw on if you do find yourself on the side of the road somewhere. Yes, you're going to have to get on the other side of your wheel. However, just a really easy hookup that doesn't take too much time, and we'll kind of break that down in installation. So keep in mind with these guys, it can also be nice to treat them well if you don't have them all in use all the time. Rinsing them and then also getting a little bit of oil, a little bit of grease on there can make them last for a long time, especially if you have these guys off season for a while. Storing them in a nice, cool, dry place is really going to help you prevent any kind of rust from building up on here. Now you do have a ladder style positioning here today too. So as you guys can see, that means you have all these big gaps where you can fit about a hand width in. What that's doing for yourself, giving you very nice start and stop maneuverability. You're really going to have to overcome these hills and valleys for yourself to get going or to stop, of course. So that's going to give you that nice little bit of traction control in there. Now the one thing that it does do though is impact your turning radius just a little bit. Makes it a little bit harder to make those lefts and those rights. They are very tight as you have to overcome them every time. But one thing that's nice about the steel rollers, guys, it kind of assists you in doing that. So these guys kind of glide, they move themselves, so it has a nicer, smoother ride than you would normally see from even just your square links. You know, obviously the V-bar and the twisted link are going to be way aggressive options, but if you're comparing these just to the squares, they are still a nicer, smoother ride, which can definitely be an added benefit to them. You will notice today we do have it here on our rear wheel. That is because we do have rear wheel drive on the Jeep. Now, of course, make sure you are checking your vehicle's owner's manual guide to make sure that true is same for your model. But let's go ahead and see how we can get these installed. All right guys, to go ahead and do your installation, I'm going to go ahead and set out your chains just like so. Now one thing that's nice about your cable chains is that they don't really bind each other very much, so you really don't have much to watch out for. The biggest things are going to be usually these little guys kind of getting caught in here, so, or maybe your cam lever that gets caught on something. It takes no time at all just to walk that guy out and get it into position. The other thing you're looking for here, we do have our hard points of contact poking up, so you guys can see where that's kind of wrapped over that ledge. To actually get us to connect to our side cables, that's actually going to have a hard point right there, and we don't want that poking into our tire, potentially scraping it, damaging it, and of course potentially puncturing it, which would definitely not be good. So we're going to go ahead and take our chains here. I just want to go ahead and walk myself right in the middle and simply set this guy across our wheel. One thing that's really nice about the steel rollers, they're almost one of the easiest things to throw on here, is they almost take no time, very lightweight, as you guys are seeing. Now we can go ahead and make our first connection on the back side of our tire. All right guys, here we are on the back side of our tire. Just gonna go ahead and get this installed. We have these little kind of grommets here. We have these square hooks that are gonna be just sliding right through our bracket. So we just want to simply slide it up, get these guys into a good position. One thing I'm going to check here too, seeing how it's sitting on the inside of this wall, so you guys can see we're kind of keeping ourselves tight to the sidewall of our tire. I think I'm going to go one more on this guy, and there we go. That feels pretty nice and secure to me. And let's go ahead and try that. Now, of course, you might have this little extra bit here. We have this little also bracket here that slides along the length of our cord, so we can go ahead and set that guy just like so that he can hold that extra little bit. Now that we made that back connection, we go ahead and bring ourselves to the front of our wheel again, and we're going to take our bracket here today and kind of do the same process on the other side, except we're inserting it here. And we can maybe get one more out of it, and that's going to go ahead and allow us to take our lever back towards us and into position here. Let's go ahead and move this extra little bracket up out of the way. for ourselves. You can see we don't have too much length here. Now, I'm not quite liking how loose we're sitting. So what we're gonna do here, guys, we're gonna go ahead and tighten up this front one and maybe potentially the back one, see if we can't get this to fit better. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. All right, guys, so I was able to shorten down one of these guys. Now, I might actually go ahead and maybe go 1 or 2 more on the back, but here today we do have a pretty decent fit. I do have just a little bit of slack here though. So what I'm gonna do is grab myself some rubber tensioners. Now, these are sold separately at etrailer.com. However, they're gonna be integral to make sure that your chains stay exactly where you want them on your wheel. All we need to do, take our hooks just like so, make sure they're pointed away from our wheel. We don't want that puncturing or damaging them. And then we just simply slot it on right here, going across, much like you would a lug nut, trying to go across and kind of appropriately distancing all of our pressure for ourselves. And what this is going to do, as you guys can watch, is actually pull everything towards the center here of our wheel. So that's taking out all that excess slack. You can see it's starting to pull that guy in. Now we're having a good fit across the entirety of our wheel. So that can be very helpful, especially with these steel rollers. They're just not as secure sometimes when you're getting them on there. Really kind of hard to really make sure it's nice and tight. This really helps you get it perfectly of where you want it. Well, guys, all in all, as you guys saw, that installation didn't take too much time, which I really like. Again, the steel rollers make it really easy, and just how the hookup works takes no time at all. I highly recommend getting these rubber tensioners. They just do a great job of really taking out all that excess slack, which is kind of innate with these rollers. Yes, this lever system works okay. It's just hard to get that nice secure fit that you might be used to from some other chains. So these guys do go a long way of making sure that it happens and stays nice and tight, brings everything in center, and we're gonna have no trouble as we go down the road, which is gonna be great. All in all, gonna be a very nice, kind of lightweight option for yourself. Again, if you really do find yourself in heavy ice and snow, these aren't the way to go. They do a great job of giving you a little bit of traction through that kind of light to medium dusting. However, if you really do find yourself with a lot of weather elements, just go ahead and get yourself a chain. You're gonna like it a lot more, and it's gonna work for you and make sure that you get to your destination safely. You do get this nice little bag. However, I will say it's not very large. It's kind of hard to fit these guys in here, especially with the rollers. They kind of build up on the ends, and you have these giant 2 circles that you're pushing down, trying to get the squeeze in there. So nice that you have the option. This is gonna break down very quickly. You have metal inside a canvas bag, and as well as it's just not gonna hold up too well. A plastic tote is gonna go a long way of making sure that you guys have a nice, safe way of keeping it inside your vehicle when it's not in use. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the Titan Chain Snow Cable Tire Chains here today on our 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.